making something in Dubai, which Dubai doesn't have so far. And actually, I just packed my suitcases and moved to Dubai to do some market research on the spot. And I prepared a lot of questions and just went through all the, not all, but most of the watches shops in Dubai. I actually identified a gap here. Dubai doesn't offer any vintage watches. You get pre-owned, second-hand watches, but vintage watches are rare pieces, maybe 20, 30, 40, up to 80 years old, 70 years old. This is a 1970s two-door. Tudor is a second brand of Rolex, and it's got very good quality. It's still got Rolex parts in it, the back, the case, the crown, the glasses, all manufactured in the Rolex company factory, and it's the cheaper brand of them. The cheapest Tudor watch you can get is something like 7, 8, 9,000 dirhams. Yeah, and we are offering this piece, which is coming with a guarantee, and it has been completely serviced before, for 5,000 dirhams. This is an Oyster Rally, which is a brand, was a former brand of Rolex. This watch, you see the size, it's the boys' watch. This was handed over to Canadian cadets, like boys, in the 40s for joining the army. It's in complete original condition. It hasn't been refurbished or polished. You see even the hands are a bit rusted, but you can see the story behind it. I mean, it's staying now for 70 years. For 70 years, this watch is still in a working condition, and Canadian boys used to wear it in the army. Just out of appreciation, they got these watches. This is my favorite watch, actually. It's a 1966 Omega Seamaster chronograph. It has the same movement as the Omega Moon watch, caliber 3-to-1 manual winding. Actually, this watch was used to test the movement, which was used for the watch, which was the watch worn on the moon. And also, this watch is in a very original condition. You can still see the original glass. You can see the original buckle in the back. It's a watch you probably can't find in Dubai, and it's very, very hard to get that one in Europe as well. Our prospective clientele is definitely mostly the expatriates community. They are coming from European and US countries. They know how to appreciate these watches. I mean, the European market is probably the most advanced market for vintage watches. There's a lot of selection there. It's already a big alternative just to go, I mean, not to buy a watch in the shop, but going for a vintage watch. Another thing is that you need skilled watchmakers to service a watch, to service for a watch for a reasonable price and a reasonable time. We have already worked in watches for 15 years. We have skilled watchmakers working for us who can almost repair, service any watch of any brand. Yes, actually it's our task to make the people appreciate vintage watches in Dubai. I mean, if you look at Dubai now, today, how old is Dubai? It's 20, 25 years. So how would you be able to find pieces of a date before that? I mean, if you have a 50s watch, how people wouldn't appreciate it here. And Dubai is like, everyone wants to have the most rare pieces. They want to have the most expensive pieces, and they don't know that those pieces can be vintage watches, which is really rare. I mean, if you buy a vintage watch, you don't face the loss of value. If you buy a vintage watch, like it's for a vintage car, if you buy a new car, then you just drive it once, it's already worth 30% less. And it's something like that with the watches as well. They don't lose that much. But if you go for a vintage watch, then the watch has already lost all it could lose. So either the value stays on the same amount, or it rises. We're soon launching our concept store in the DIFC premises, in the Marble Walk at the exit where the Caramel Valley parking is. We think that the DIFC is the best location in Dubai to start such a concept, since you have the audience appreciating those watches already in the same building. It's a very high-end location. It's a one-stop shop. Like, you come to buy a watch, sell a watch, you can give your watch on consignment, you can service and repair your watch, you can buy accessories like leather straps and watch winder in the shop. If you have any questions, you can come to consult. We have a nice library with old books in the shop where you can just come, have an espresso, read those books and ask your questions, and we will be happy to help you.